Rebecca appears from the very beginning with a tired look in her eyes. She lives with Mason, her husband, but the relationship between them is harsh, distant. She reminds him that he can't miss the family dinner that night. He responds coldly, as if it doesn't matter, and turns away without looking at her, leaving an emptiness that foreshadows conflict. That night, Rebecca goes out with her friends. They laugh and talk about intimate topics. Suddenly, an unknown woman comes too close. She tries to start a conversation. She invades her space. Rebecca feels uncomfortable. She tenses up. She can barely breathe. The woman senses the rejection and leaves, leaving Rebecca feeling uneasy. When she returns to her friends, Rebecca confesses something that leaves them in silence. She has never reached the peak of pleasure with her husband. She says that the act has always been for him, not for her. Her friends don't believe her. They open their eyes in surprise. They invite her to dinner the next day to come up with a plan and help her discover the good things in life. And the challenge is set. The following night, Rebecca has a glass of wine with them. One of them suggests that what she needs is a toy. Rebecca thinks it's impossible. She says that in 50 years, she's never even thought about it. The next suggestion is to find her a lover. She asks if she should look for one on the street. Her friend clarifies that she's talking about a female lover and that they can find one through an agency, and the idea lingers in the air. At first, Rebecca struggles to process it. She looks at the table, swallows hard, hesitates. Finally, she nods cautiously. We meet Valentina, the owner of the agency, a woman who decides without hesitation who goes with whom. Rebecca requests someone her own age so she can feel comfortable. Valentina assigns Sylvie, convinced that this choice will be safer, and finalizes the meeting. The moment arrives. In a hotel room, Rebecca opens the door. Standing before her is Paris, young and beautiful, also from the agency. Rebecca tries to close the door. She says there's been a mistake. Paris notices her expression and replies that she opened the door as if expecting someone, adding that a man stayed in that room last week. Rebecca's lie wavers. Rebecca asks her to come in. She doesn't want that conversation in the hallway. Paris takes off her coat. Rebecca's nerves rise like a wave. Her skin breaks out in goosebumps. She asks her to leave. She insists that she requested someone her own age. She adds that she won't pay for the time. Paris, seeing the confusion, leaves without arguing, and the emptiness in the room feels even heavier. When she gets home, Rebecca pours herself a drink. She drinks slowly, trying to understand what she almost did. Jessica, her daughter, appears and tries to stop her. Rebecca hugs her, asks to talk about the situation. She admits she should have acted differently. Jessica pulls away. She responds that there are things that can never be fixed. And she leaves, leaving her mother with a guilt that thickens. The next day, Rebecca signs documents with Mason. There are property transfers to evade taxes. Mason emphasizes that it's only for legal reasons. Rebecca says she understands he wants his children to take over the company, but that Jessica also deserves to be a part of it. Mason denies it without hesitation. She reminds him that he owes it to Jessica, and the tension explodes. Immediately, Mason pushes Rebecca. He yells that it was just one night. He repeats that the business has belonged to his family for 100 years. He says Jessica can't be a part of it because she's not his blood. Rebecca reminds him that he raised her and that she sees him as a father. Mason refuses to grant shares, and the weight of that refusal opens up a dark memory. In a flash of memory, Mason comes home drunk. Jessica is sleeping on the couch. He leans over her and forces himself on her, shattering her trust. The house, the place that was supposed to protect her, becomes dangerous. The wound remains open. Later, Rebecca meets up with her friends. She tells them that nothing happened with the escort. She says the woman who showed up was younger than expected and describes her as a little devil. She admits that she was scared by how much she liked her. Her friends encourage her to try again, and the spark that was lit last time is rekindled. Encouraged by them, Rebecca calls Valentina. She asks for a new appointment with the same person as last time. In the room, she opens the door excitedly, but her expression fades when she sees Sylvie. Sylvie enters confidently and offers some toys. Rebecca immediately refuses. She says she won't use them. And the air becomes tense. Sylvie, attentive to every gesture, comments that Paris described her as sweet and bitter, afraid to try new things. Then, she says that Rebecca is a wealthy woman who thinks everything is at her disposal. Rebecca tenses up. She loses her patience. She throws her out. Sylvie leaves and Rebecca is left trembling, more determined than before. The next day, Rebecca returns to the room. She leaves an exorbitant amount of money in an envelope. Then, she takes off her wedding ring and places it next to the sofa. She knocks on the door. This time it's Paris, because Rebecca specifically asked for her. They go in and talk. The silences feel lighter and desire is no longer hidden. It doesn't take long before Paris comes closer. She gently caresses her face. Rebecca closes her eyes. She lets herself be touched for a second. She gives in to her fears. She hands over the envelope with the money and runs away. The door is left vibrating. Paris, in silence, notices the shine of the forgotten ring. In the morning, Rebecca calls Valentina. She asks about her ring. Valentina says that Paris picked it up and told her a place and a time. In the hotel room at 7 in the evening. Rebecca is annoyed by the control, but the idea of seeing her excites her. Night falls. Rebecca waits anxiously. When Paris walks through the door, Rebecca demands her ring. Paris hands it over without any fuss and steps aside. Rebecca asks her to wait, to come in for a moment. She apologizes for having treated her badly and for running away earlier. The tension eases and something new begins to open up. This time, Rebecca is more relaxed. She allows Paris to come closer. Their lips meet in a timid kiss. It seems like she finally lets herself go, but her fears return like a reflex. She apologizes again and runs away, but not before leaving a bundle of bills. And that pattern threatens to repeat itself. Shortly after, Rebecca hears two of her children talking. Jessica tells her brother that it's never too late to be happy. That phrase hits her deeply. She meets with Paris again, and this time, the fears disappear. She reveals that she wants to experience pleasure in her life, at least before it's too late, and she crosses a threshold. After enjoying themselves together, they talk about anything and everything. Paris tells her that she has a beautiful body. Rebecca replies that not even in her best years did she look like her. A sense of relief runs through her body, and the bond between them silently grows stronger. The next time she meets with her friends, Rebecca looks different. She is relaxed, happy, complete. She truly enjoyed her time with Paris and has begun to discover her own happiness. In the days that follow, Rebecca and Paris share more moments together, always in the same hotel room. And that refuge becomes their world. During one encounter, Rebecca falls asleep. Calmness overtakes her. She loses track of time and misses the family dinner. She wakes up startled. She gets up and hurriedly gets dressed. She leaves, leaving Paris alone. When she enters her house, her children are waiting for her, worried. She looks for an excuse. She tries to cover up her absence. One of them shows her a paper found in their father's office. It's a medical report. Rebecca has terminal cancer and has kept it a secret. Suddenly, her rush to live makes sense, like a race against time. That night, Rebecca talks with Mason. She asks him how long he has known. He tries to avoid the question, but in the end admits that he found out weeks ago. He shows compassion, seems different, and suggests they give themselves another chance. He says it's never too late to fix their marriage. Rebecca thanks him, but says there's no time left and the door between them closes. During another meeting with Paris, Rebecca looks at her intensely. She tells her that she's beautiful, talented, and intelligent, that she could make a living another way. Paris replies that she makes $200,000 a year doing what she does. Rebecca asks about her life, and a memory hits like a sudden blow. Paris is walking down a road with her boyfriend. They're joking around. She playfully pushes him. He takes one step back too many. A speeding car hits him and takes his life. That moment leaves a mark on her. Guilt settles in, and the past becomes a shadow that follows her even when she seems in control. The next day, Paris goes to see Valentina. She says she wants to leave the business. Valentina looks at her with the wisdom of experience. She reminds her that she's been working for her for 5 years. She insists that she's falling in love with Rebecca, that those regular meetings don't lie. She warns her that this never ends well, that others have ended up with broken hearts. Paris tries to deny it. She lowers her gaze. Valentina knows her, and she knows the truth. Even so, Paris decides to leave the agency. She ignores the warning, and the leap into the unknown becomes inevitable, with Rebecca at the center of her decision. In the next scene, Rebecca meets with Sylvie in a park. She hands her an envelope to give to Paris. Sylvie gives it back and says she should deliver it in person. She doesn't understand Rebecca's attitude. Then, Rebecca confesses. She has terminal cancer. The physical symptoms are already starting. She doesn't want Paris to see her like this. Sylvie looks at her and replies that Paris deserves an explanation, not a letter. And she makes the decision weigh heavily. Rebecca listens and nods. She follows the advice. She meets with Paris one last time. At the end, she says she has to say goodbye. Paris looks at her and says that they love each other, that they can get through it together. In silence, Rebecca reveals her illness. She holds her while Paris cries for a loss that hasn't happened yet, and the farewell takes shape. Sometime later, Rebecca's family gathers in a hall. They are dressed in black. They look at the coffin where she rests. but no one speaks. The goodbye is solemn and final, and the echo of her search for happiness lingers among them like an absence. Finally, Jessica visits a gallery. Paris's works hang on the walls. We don't know how she got there, but she moves forward and looks for her. She asks her to tell her more about her mother. We understand that Jessica has forgiven, and now she wants to get to know Rebecca through Paris, opening a door that can still bring meaning.